And we are. It looks like we're live. Alright. One time for my niggas, two times for my niggas. It's Mama Kali and Daddy Shiva and Kaneki, the Quantum Kit Kat. Alright. So we're here today to present you guys with the OlmecMayan time code and introduction into quantum astrology. So I and Mama Kali wanted to bring this particular system of understanding time into a greater level of understanding because both of us actually have been using it for divination for the past year or so. Yeah. So we've been working with the system as an active, practical divination system for the past year. So we've really gotten to understand the deep level of it, just on the divination aspect of it, being able to use it to, see, into different questions that we would have about our internal worlds, our external worlds, you know what I'm saying? Getting guidance from these different entities and energies that make up what we know as the Mayan holy calendar. You see what I'm saying? But we really didn't, or at least I really wasn't into the left brain aspect of it. I just really started to, that was her that was more into the left brain aspect of it and studying the mathematics behind, the spiritual tool that I was more into. You see what I'm saying? Um, so once she got me hip to the actual mathematics that was working behind how the system set itself up, I really started to see just how important this system of time is because of how it actually, sets itself up and functions. Um, in particular, the Tzolkin aspect of the calendar, which would be more so the holy round of the calendar. And as we go through the notes and different things, we're going to break down the three concentric rings of time that make up the calendar. But I just wanted to say, this is, like I said, one of the best divination tools that I found. You see what I'm saying? Definitely touches on a lot of different quantum and cosmic aspects. Definitely creates a unified frame of thought when you're linking these so below concepts with these as above concepts. This divination system definitely helps do that, and we're going to talk about why that is. But even on the left brain side, like I said, it's a mathematically perfect system, and trust me, in the notes in the PowerPoint that we're going to have available after this video drops, for, the deeper, or the, I guess you could say, the introductory look into the Olmec Mayan time code, we're going to break down just why the mathematics of it is perfect, and we're also going to show you how to do the math yourself, because ultimately that's what's going to prove it to you. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of different significant number correlations that I've seen between the different numerological aspects of the Mayan time coding and different significant numbers that appear throughout different cultures. So I definitely can see why others have commented that it's a mathematically perfect system. I've done the math myself. The shit's pretty accurate. The shit's accurate to a fucking T. So we're gonna really get into this right about now. So, like we said, the OlmecMayan time code introduction into quantum astrology by Mama Kali and Daddy Shiva via Cosmic Chaos. Alright. So the first aspect of the Mayan time system that we're going to touch on is vigesimal time acceleration. The Olmec Mayan calendar is based on the concept of cyclic time, unlike the Gregorian calendar we are used to, which progresses endlessly in one direction. So the concept of time that modern science kind of has in play right now is there's the Big Bang, and then everything just moves on from there pretty much into whatever the fuck. You see what I'm saying? Whereas the Mayan frame of thought, they had this concept that time spirals back in on itself. You see what I'm saying? Time is a circle, not a line. but it's also a spiral, so to speak, so that time isn't, just looping back in and repeating itself over and over again. It's spiraling up and it's spiraling down. It's ascending and descending at the same time. Time moves in all directions at the same time. Um, they had an understanding of the fact that spirals were really the only form that exists in the universe. And if we can go directly to the quantum physics that's being presented today, and they'll tell you that all of these subatomic particles and shit that they discover, the deeper and deeper they look into it, it's just spirals and vortexes of energy. That's all it is.
From different perspectives, they look slightly different.
Depending on the spin ratio of those vortexes of energy, you get a different look of a particle. You see what I'm saying? That's really all this shit is just different spin ratios of vortexes of energy. So spirals are really the only form that there is. So the Fibonacci spiral and all that sequencing, that's a code that was implanted into the universe in order to set a certain motion going and keep a certain perpetual motion going.
That's that's Gabriel's equation.
Right. Gabriel Oyibo definitely plays a huge part in understanding some of the deeper aspects of the Mayan time code that we're actually going to get into as we progress this series out into a whole class, pretty much a whole course on the Mayan Olmec system and the inner workings of it and how it all functions and how it proves itself to be perfect.
But again, it's very hands-on.
Yeah,
very kinesthetic.
Very kinesthetic. You definitely have to work with it. You see what I'm saying? And that's why the Mayan Oracle was a great tool in really feeling out the system and then understanding why the math helps create a system that works so accurately. You see what I'm saying? So the Mayans have cyclic time. The Gregorian calendar that we use today, you see what I'm saying, is pretty much based on the notion that there was one beginning and there's going to be one end and that's it. You see what I'm saying? No cycles, no nothing. Everything just moves in a straight line that way. Yeah, that way. All right. This calendar is vigesimal and uses 13 as a divine nodal point within cycles. So the Mayan calendar is vigesimal and uses 13 as a divine nodal point within cycles. We're going to talk about what vigesimal means in a little bit. I know I've said it a couple of times. We're going to get to it. For the OlmecMayan, the study of time was about understanding the qualities that exist on the smallest cycles of time, the quantum scale, then expanding that understanding into larger cycles. Their calendar was comprised of 3 rings of time, starting with the Trakana, then the Tzolkin, and then the long count as we go through the rest of the...
from the innermost ring to the outer.
Right. The Trakana is the innermost ring, then you have the Tzolkin, and then you have the long count outside of that, all right? So as we go through the rest of this presentation, we're going to discuss and define all those different terms. Once they had a sound grasp of the 13 tones and 20 day signs of the Tzolkin, they expanded that into the tuns, katuns, baktuns, and piktuns of the long count calendar by successively multiplying these time scales by 20. This is called vigesimal time acceleration. The term vigesimal describes a base 20 mathematical system, whereas our modern mathematical system is decimal or base 10. All right. So intervals of 20 is how they're working, whereas we work on intervals of 10. So it's 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million. You see what I'm saying? It goes on like that. So for them, it would have been like 20, 400. You see what I'm saying? It would have progressed in that type of a manner, or 20, 40. You see what I'm saying? 60, 80. In a vigesimal acceleration. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So the Tzolkin, right? So this is where we're defining that's the holy calendar. This is what the astrological system is based on. The long count is more keeping track of all the cycles of how many Tzolkins and different things have passed by. You see what I'm saying? But the Tzolkin itself is what is considered the astrological system of the Mayan, right?
I like to say it's the midbrain. It's what it's the midpoint. It connects you to the outer world, which is
Right.
like the agricultural part of the calendar,
Right.
and then the
Inner,
internals, which is the tones,
right,
the
the
pure
quantum
state
world.
of the
Right.
quantum world. So you are that in between. You are that Tzolkin. That's what's the holy calendar. It's the
Right.
in between. It's your midbrain.
Right. It literally is the calendar that represents what humanity is as that bridgeway between, you know what I'm saying, God and earth. You see what I'm saying? All right. So the Tzolkin is a 260-day cycle based on 13 harmonic tones and 20 day signs. Now 13 multiplied by 20 is 260. If you are good at math, which I highly doubt some of you
Or have
are,
a calculator handy.
or have a calculator handy, what they did is they did a permutation. So they figured out, yo, how many times can or how many combinations of 13 harmonic tones and 20 day signs can we get while keeping it in order and not repeating anything, right? 260 is that answer. That is exactly why the Tzolkin is 260 days long, right? So every single possibility gets played out within the Tzolkin calendar, right? Each day sign, right? So there's 20 day signs. Each day sign has unique subconscious and conscious qualities summarized by the archetypes of the 20 different deities that rule each day. The archetype of these 20 deities are then modified depending on the specific frequency of vibration of the harmonic tone they are interacting with on the frequency interacting with on that day. So the personality or the specific energy that's given off by a day sign is modified by whatever tone it's with. You see what I'm saying? So each tone has its own specific definition of energy, and then that pretty much causes a permutation, right, of said day sign into a unique vibration of that energy, all right, or a unique mixture of that energy. So the 20-day cycle of the Tzolkin corresponding to the day signs is called the Uinal, which is Uinal, or you can just get these goddamn notes that's going to come and you can see it for yourself and how to spell it. All right, and aligns itself with our local sun. So the 20-day signs that we see align themselves with the local sun. All right, so that's connecting you to the cosmic cycle, so to speak. The 13-day cycle corresponding to the harmonic tones is called the Trikana, and this cycle is aligned with the galactic central sun of the heart of the Milky Way. So these vibrations will be felt to you as more quantum vibrations. You see what I'm saying? So this is the difference between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. It really is that bridgeway between both worlds. You see what I'm saying? This calendar is not one purely based on cosmic observations, though, as we've already pretty much said. Instead, the OlmecMayan utilized shamanic trance states in order to truly integrate, explain, and utilize the flow of quantum energies as well. Both the Tzolkin and the long count share a common resonance because of the 1320 base code that both use as a foundation. Now, the Trikana is the innermost ring of the Mayan calendar, right? When that's combined and permutated, multiplied by, vigesimally accelerated by the 20-day signs, right? You get the Tzolkin calendar, right? Boom. Now we're going to go into the long count. The base unit of time measurement for the long count calendar is the Tun, the 360-day yearly cycle. Many ancient cultures, including ancient Kush and Kemet, used a 360-day year for their holy calendar, although the 365-day solar year for the OlmecMayan, this was called the Ha, right, was also known to them and used more so for agricultural purposes. The Gregorian calendar that sets up our understanding of tropical astrology is a linear time system based on the 365-day solar year. Because of the 5-day difference between the basic time unit of the Tun and the solar year, your consciousness, while using this system, actually inches backwards in time about 5 days every year, keeping you disconnected from the flow of linear time. right?
Because again, it's a spiral, and the only way that you can ascend or descend is if you were to break away from the circle, knock back, and shoot up, and then continue to spiral.
All right, boom, and there we go. That's why 13 is a primary nodal point within a base 20 system. Once you think about that 13th like point, that 13th cog having like an extra kickback wheel on it. So as the gear is spinning, once you hit that 13th point, it cocks back and it tilts you up, and then you continue on that rotation. Now you're higher, but you can also cock back and shoot down, and then you'd be lower on the cycle. You see what I'm saying? So the 13 is that primary nodal point where you kind of have that click back state where you can shift gears on that level. You can only shift gears after that 13th point, right? So that's what we're getting to, or that's what we're more so getting toward when we're talking about how these systems set themselves up. All right, and that's where you kind of get that inching backwards in time. You see what I'm saying? It's because of that cockback that you can actually have that as a part of the dynamic. All right, so like we said, in order for them to understand or progress their understanding of time, you see what I'm saying, at an accelerated rate, they were doing it vigesimally. They were multiplying by 20. They took the base 13 harmonic tones, which are pretty much just quantum frequencies, you see what I'm saying, and they accelerated that. They accelerated their understanding of that through time using the 20-day signs of the Owino cycle. So that was a vigesimal acceleration. So because their basic unit for the year is 360 days, right? We can define the tun as one of 20 360-day cycles in the Katun, right? Which is the next time scale up, right? So when you accelerate the tun and you multiply it by 20, right, you get a 19.7 year cycle. So the Katun is one of 20 19.7 year cycles in the Baktun, right? The Baktun being the next time scale up, right? So 19.7 multiplied by 20 is 394 years, right? So the Baktun is one of 20 394 year cycles in the Piktun. So when you multiply that 394 by 20, you vigesimally accelerate it, you get what's known as the Piktun. The Piktun is one 7,880 year cycle composed of 20 Baktuns, right? But this part of the calendar is known as the long count, right?
So that's the overall, that's the acceleration of the universe and evolution. So each one is paired with a tone and a star glyph to describe what's happening during that era of evolution for mankind.
So because the 13 and the 20 are the base codings for the calendar itself, a Trakana or 13 Baktuns is actually called the long count, which is a 5,125 year cycle. So a Trakana of Baktuns is the long count. But when you vigesimally accelerate the Baktun, you get the Piktun. You see what I'm saying? So what they're trying to show you is that the same 1320 base code that exists in the Tzolkin exists throughout all of the time scales of the long count. You see what I'm saying? So there's a Trakana of tons, and that's a specific time unit. There's a Trakana of Katuns, and that's a specific time unit. You see what I'm saying? That 13th point is the cockback. It's where you get to either move up or move down. So that's that pole shift, actually, right? That they keep talking about. That's the pole shift where you can either rise up in consciousness or you can fall in consciousness. That's what they're talking about. Once you hit that 13th point, you get to either rise up or fall back down. You see what I'm saying? 2012 was actually the start of the 13th Baktun. This is the kickback point. They don't know what's going to happen. They can't predict into this point, because this is the point where we get to decide whether we spiral up or spiral further down.
That's why it's all free. It's free grabs.
Boom. That's why they stopped the calendar right there. This is the 13th Baktum. You see what I'm saying? Or this is the 13th Baktum within the cycle. You see what I'm saying? So we're at this point now where we have to pick this shit back up and really decide where we're gonna go. We have to continue the work now. So that I wanted to get this out just to explain how the vigesimal time acceleration works, right? So once you do the math on all this shit and you actually break this down into days, you'll see that the number 144,000 is right in there.
And if you get the notes, there's visuals, so they show you the glyphs and how it's broken down and everything. So you can speak the language with them.
Right. Yes, we will. We have everything. We're gonna, and mind you, this one is just a general introduction, so we're gonna present to you. You see what I'm saying, in the PowerPoint, all of the star glyphs, all of the harmonic tones. We're also going to present to you all of the qualities and symbols related to the day signs, right? And then we're also going to present to you all of the qualities of the harmonic tones, as a basic snapshot, introductory look. You see what I'm saying?
And so what the class will be. The class is going to be broken up into segments where you go even deeper and learn how to work with these energies. Because again, you can't just read a book, you have to interact with them. The Maya didn't speak much at all.
Yeah.
So
that breath was very vital, and they deified it actually as we
don't talk it,
do it. Yeah. So
there's a lot of information in the classes. Working with the deities.
Right. As we progress into further into the series, we're going to break down just why it's a 1320 base code, because you're probably wondering why the hell those numbers, why are those numbers important? We're going to break that down. We actually sat down and really thought about the shit, went into meditation and figured it out. So we're going to break that down to you guys, and as we get deeper into the class, we're also going to have an expanded look on all of the 20-day signs. That's also going to be part free video, part expanded in-depth PowerPoint notes.
Like
you see what I'm saying?
Basically.
Right. We're going to do a fully in-depth free series on the harmonic tones, though. You see what I'm saying? We're going to release all the information on the harmonic tones, just to really implement more of that quantum energy into the sphere of consciousness. But yeah. So as we go on in the series, we're going to break down more of this shit, get more in-depth with all of it, and really give you guys a full in-depth understanding of how to work with this system. But yeah, we're not going into that right now. But yeah, like we said in the notes, we got the galactic tones breaking down all the qualities that are represented by the all the energies and qualities that are represented by the 13 harmonic tones. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. And then we got all the star glyphs, which are the day signs. Of course, we got extra ass books with extra ass, information in them. So we're gonna have some terms and shit that you might not be able to find on the internet. You're not gonna find a lot of this on Google. I'm sorry. You can find the books. We'll definitely link you to the books, but if you don't want to pay for the books, we're basically summarizing all the books for you. So there's that. So we're gonna break down all the different qualities and symbols associated with all the different star glyphs. You see what I'm saying? And really get your mind prepared to start using this system of time to really begin understanding just how important this region of space-time is. You see what I'm saying? In terms of understanding the magic and putting it to use. You see what I'm saying? It's a perfect way to bridge the gap between, wanting to understand astrology but not wanting to be a petty ass nigga. You see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna bridge the gap between here and the cosmos.
Oh.
I mean, just strengthening that connection.
Oh.
I mean, that too.
Also, one of the things that a lot of the people that use this system say is that it's a lot easier to understand than 12-sign astrology. You see what I'm saying?
It makes more sense.
just because of the fact that it's a way more simplified system. They're like, all right, you got to think about it like this. You're multiplying so many different factors when you're using 12 sign astrology that the permutations get crazy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? 7 planets multiplied by 12 signs, but each one of those 12 signs has 3 deacons. You see what I'm saying? And then you have all the different possibilities for who's dominant in your chart.
I mean, but even before you get all of that, it's
then there's all the asteroids. Then there's the angles, and
so
there's so many fucking permutations to deal with that shit actually gets really, really fucking complex for no reason. So, shout outs to those niggas that really, really get jiggy with 12 sign astrology. Shout outs to the Dalai Mama, because that shit's crazy as fuck. But I'm on some other shit now. I gotta be on some other shit. Because this shit is definitely it's definitely a clutch. They're all pieces of the puzzle. So I'm not gonna discount 12 signs. You see what I'm saying?
It's still dead ass accurate. They actually work very beautifully together.
Yeah, you can actually see. Yeah, once you get your Mayan astrology, you can see your 12 sign in it. You can see it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
But again, these are all just pieces.
What I just want to avoid is the surface level understanding and use of this shit. I want
this forces you.
This forces you to deal with it on a exactly.
Just like chalice, ebb. You won't understand that just off of the qualities.
Qualities, yeah, they sound crazy, and I made sure they sounded crazy. So you really do have to study deeper into it.
You have to interact with it.
Right.
We were talking earlier about deities and archetypes are portals to factions of knowledge. So when you work with these, you were basically just stepping through that portal and absorbing all that knowledge.
Give a couple examples of that.
Go on Twitter.
No, give a couple examples of that. No, give a couple examples of that.
Okay, so Neptune. So Neptune is a portal. If you know the mythology behind Neptune, you know that he's the sea god. He's the equivalent of Poseidon. He's in charge of all primordial, deep psychic knowledge. He can give you all the secrets of your psychic aspect of your subconscious brain. So he's those deep waters. That's a portal. You step into, you start working with Neptune as a deity and an archetype. You step through his portal into those waters, and then it's just
you become it, right?
You experience it.
Right.
I personally have a lot of dream work when I work with Neptune. I have more visions. Sometimes I have dreams where it's just all black, and I hear voices. I hear whoever. But it's bringing me knowledge.
Neptune is the blue of the throat chakra, though. So it is that, you know what I'm saying, that form of communication that water would represent as that fluid medium. So, all right, definitely. All right, see? So there we go.
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about.
There's a thread on Twitter. It's going to be on the website soon, though.
Yeah, we doing all that. So, yeah, we're breaking all this down. So we definitely want you guys to have a full understanding of the system. I just want to get past all the surface level shit, because I'm not here to worship personalities. I'm here to help niggas ascend, and if y'all really want to do that, if y'all really about this magic, this is one of the greatest systems I've seen. I've been using it. You see what I'm saying? If you've gotten a shadow wisdom reading, you see what I'm saying? You know what's jiggy. You know what's good. You know what's good. You know what I've told you. You know what I've said, and you know exactly how deep it was. You see what I'm saying? So I've been using it. I've been using it on myself. I think it's an amazing system. Mind you, I've been using it for the longest. I'm just not presenting it. And really breaking down how the system works. You see what I'm saying? Because this is the perfect time for it. This is the right time. Because it's time to reclaim our time. You see what I'm saying? I can see it. I can see how things are starting to swing in the opposite, like in the other direction. Saturn and Capricorn, these scales are about to balance out. So this is the perfect time, Saturn, to get shit together. You see what I'm saying? So that's really it. We're about to drop the notes on the website, cosmicchaos.com. Once we drop the notes on the website, we're gonna put them in the description.
Put the link in
so please check the description box in about a couple minutes. Check our Twitter accounts in about a couple minutes. I mean, our Twitter accounts are in the title, so you can see it there. We'll link everything. You see what I'm saying? So we really appreciate you guys sitting through this with us. You see what I'm saying? I know this is kind of complex. You see what I'm saying? But the PowerPoint's beautiful. Let me say that. Shout outs to Mama Kali. The PowerPoint is fucking beautiful. There's images. there are, it's fucking beautiful. It's great. It just looks so aesthetically pleasing. You see what I'm saying? It's 888. You see what I'm saying? Bless us, we blessing you. It's litty. Well, yeah. So is that it? Anything else we need to discuss real quick that might be on their minds? If you guys have any quick little questions, we can ask. Any quick little questions, we can definitely hit you guys and get those answered right quick. Or if not, then
I don't know if there were questions because I saw a couple of comments.
From what I saw, they were just showing love. I just want to make sure we get everything out right now before niggas gotta go pay for it. All right. Any questions? No. All right. We gonna end this with 13 people watching. That's a flame. That's a flame. How do you find what? Oh. How do I find my sign? My Mayan astrology.
Oh, using the system?
Yeah, using the system.
I have a chart. I can post a chart on the website.
Yeah.
I'll post a chart on the website, and it shows you how to calculate your Mayan astrology. But there are a couple websites where you can just type in your birthday, and it'll pop it up. But if you want to know the mathematics, I'll post the chart. Yeah,
we'll post the chart on how to do the math yourself. Mm-hmm. But if you just want to really get a quick look at it, MyMayanAstrology.com. Mm-hmm. MyMayanAstrology.com. If you have a vague idea of when you were born, that's good. You don't really need to know the exact time, but having a general idea of what time of day you were born is good. Before sunrise or after sunrise, and you got it, all right? So definitely check that out so you guys can begin to work with the energy on your own time and begin understanding how it's influencing you, all right? So yeah, now, 1 time for my niggas, 2 times for my niggas. I'm out.